If you spend hundreds on Yeezys, you're probably an idiot. And here's why. And just so you know, I'm not one of those weirdo finance gurus who's gonna tell you why spend money on sneakers when you could buy index funds and stocks. But what I am gonna tell you is that if you continue your life down this path of thinking that buying cool stuff is genuinely gonna make you happy, you're gonna lead a very sad life. And by the way, my name is Greg. My goal is to help out young men on their self-improvement journey. Clearly that's something you're interested, so if you could like and subscribe, it'd be a win-win for both of us and I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm 19 now, but when I was in high school, my biggest obsession, other than playing video games and whacking the snake, was sneakers. All of the popular kids at my high school had cool, expensive sneakers, and I wanted in. To me, having expensive sneakers was my golden ticket into that crowd. Wearing an expensive pair of Jordans or Yeezys was an easy way for me to get validation from my peers, and there is nothing more important to a teenager in high school than social validation. Throughout high school, I ended up spending a couple of $1,000s on some of these expensive sneakers, and here's what I got out of it. I ended up keeping the same friend group that I had from the beginning of high school, because honestly, they could care less what sneakers I wore. They were my friends because they were my friends. I also got a couple of compliments from some of those popular sneakerheads, and the other thing I gained was being a few $1,000s poorer. If you don't see anything wrong with this, I'll change the scale a little bit higher. You want to get your hands on a BMW 5 Series, right? It's a fast and it's a flashy car that's going to turn some heads. So you end up working even more hours at a job that you hate so that you can keep up with the finance payment, your insurance payment, your rent, and all your living expenses. Basically just trying to survive so that you could pay for this car that was going to make you happy. You've just trapped yourself in a nightmare and you can't get out. You're already locked in and there's no way to escape. You've basically turned yourself into a slave for a car that was supposed to make you happy. So it never really was the car that made you happy. It was the thought of getting instant gratification and a quick dopamine hit from the validation you get from your peers that you want to impress. The reason that we try to buy all this expensive stuff that we know we can't afford is because your brain tells you, hey, this thing is expensive and exclusive. And if I get it, it'll look like I live an expensive and exclusive lifestyle. And the other people that see me with this item, whether it's a car or a house or any sort of fancy clothes, watches, whatever, those other people are gonna see it and they're gonna compliment me, they're gonna notice me, and they're gonna be jealous of me because I live this lifestyle. Your brain thinks of all these ways that you're gonna feel validated once you get your hands on that thing that you really, really want. But it doesn't think ahead a week later to when the happiness actually already wore off. And oh, you financially crippled yourself. And you can't actually afford the lifestyle that you're pretending to live. And now, even worse, your 2016 BMW 5 Series won't even get any compliments anymore. Because guess what? Your neighbor just bought a 2022. It ends up being a vicious cycle that 95% of people end up putting themselves through. And you're definitely one of them. I know because I'm one of them. And you can see proof of it right there. The one thing about me though is that I'm not ashamed to admit that right now, I have less money than I've had in a while. And also, right now, I'm probably the happiest that I've been in years. Mostly because I've invested more time into delayed gratification rather than the instant gratification that I was addicted to for years before. And it comes from things like exercising, reading, journaling, eating clean, helping people out, creating memories with your friends that don't cost much. These are the things that I've experienced personally that build that inner happiness that lasts a long time. You and I are not that different. So I know that you hate the fact that I just said that, because there's no way. There's no way that any of that wishy-washy happiness, meditating stuff can make anyone happy, right? There are literally people who have spent so long frying their brains and their dopamine receptors with instant gratification that they disagreed with me before I even finished the sentence. And you're probably one of them. It's honestly kind of sad. For my boys that are still watching, I've experienced both sides of instant and delayed gratification. And I'm being very honest with you, delayed gratification wins by a long shot every single time. Living your life looking for one thing after another to buy and purchase and consume and then be depressed again is no way to live. And honestly, I don't want that life for you. You shouldn't want that life for you. Honestly, bro, I can't make this stuff up. Literally a few minutes before I started recording this video, I heard a beeping noise like a car alarm outside of my window, so I looked out into like the parking lot to see what was going on. And it was a tow truck repossessing some guy's BMW and driving away. Can't make this stuff up, man. Most people are living their lives like this and completely oblivious to what it's doing to them. Honestly, I want a better life for you. I want a better life for me. I want a better life for all of you guys who are on self-improvement. We can do a lot better than that. Winners win, losers lose. Go be a winner today.